Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Brent Scholar, and here we are again at another edition of Are We There Yet? I'm lucky enough today to be interviewing one of my past students who I'm still in touch with, Kara Burr, and she's going to tell us about her experience. Hi, Kara. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me. My name is Kara Burr. I graduated from ASU with my master's in organizational leadership about a year ago, and now I'm pursuing my PhD in organizational leadership from Eastern University. I work in IT for a local major airline during the day and pursue my studies during the evening.
Excellent. Well, welcome, Kara. So let's talk a little bit about the impact that the coronavirus pandemic had on your learning. So what type of impact did it have? Did it have any impact?
Yeah, so I started pursuing my undergrad and my graduate degree during the pandemic. And my experience prior to that was in-person learning at a local college in Washington. Pandemic allowed me to advance my curriculum. So instead of having to be in class and having drive time to and from the school, I was able to leverage that time for classroom hours. So most of the terms, I don't think every term, but almost every term I did overload, which allowed me to get my degree a lot faster than I would have been able to get it had I not been in online learning environment. So I was able to complete undergrad and my graduate degree in just under 3 years from start to finish, having only really done my associates prior to. It was good for the time being. I worked a lot of hours at IT, slept kind of weird schedules. So not having that standard in-class work environment really helped me be available and present in class. And then the curriculum really allowed us to work at our own pace on our own timing, as long as we were able to adhere to timelines, which was really beneficial for me because I travel a lot for work.
Okay, excellent. So it sounds like this was a good thing.
For me, it was a really good thing just based on, like I said, work schedule. I work a lot of hours, 60-ish hours a week. And then, for the amount of time that was required for schooling, I was able to get it done around those crazy hours and still remaining gainfully employed.
What types of things occurred, or if anything, that you're willing to share, of course, regarding like mental health scenarios that came up for you and such because of the workloads and stuff like that?
So during the pandemic, I was working longer hours because I was remote. So it allowed me to, again, take that commute time and apply it to work. And then the nature of IT work in an airline, it's 24/7. So condensing my school schedule and advancing through with double loads or overload, as they called it, eventually caught up with me. I was able to do a lot in a small amount of time, but my sleep schedule became very, not erratic, but basically not. I was surviving off 3 or 4 hours of sleep a night. And about a half into the program from undergrad to grad, I really just kind of broke down. The lack of sleep and exhaustion caught up with me. At the time, I didn't realize what was kind of going on around me and how it was manifesting, but probably 6 months before graduating with my graduate degree, I was diagnosed with bipolar 2 and ADHD, which is a gnarly combination when going through grad school. I opted to not pursue any treatment for my mental health issues at the time and postponed it until I graduated with my master's and then started treatment for it after the fact. I was afraid that the treatment of the two conditions would prohibit my ability to do schoolwork, which has absolutely been the case now that I'm medicated trying to do my PhD in an online learning environment.
So what do you think could be done by either your university or universities in general, including the teachers, administration, how they handled things, right, to enable more effective learning?
Yeah, so this is something that's not just trending in school. I think it's trending in the workplace too, but holistic care is really important. If I wouldn't have had those few professors that really leaned into my personal well-being, I think I really would have struggled to stay oriented and moving forward. Life happens. During my grad school experience, one of my close family members fell ill and eventually I lost them. But had I not had that personal touch, I think I would have really given up on my studies and just kind of imploded. So I think what teachers could do better is having that personal touch.
So you kind of alluded to this already, but maybe a nice little summary if there's anything else you want to add, like any notable benefits for online teaching and learning. And you've already talked about, let's say, you don't have to do the commute, right? So you have that time in order to study. What else is there?
For me, it's been a lot more collaboration. So the online environment for me has allowed me to reach a lot further than I think I would have reached in a classroom environment. What I mean by that is you're not stuck to people that are only in your class because you've got exposures to everybody that's going to school for your degrees. You can reach right and left. You can run across them in different class curriculums. I think historically, degrees were really designed to have you step through them collectively. There wasn't a lot of jumping around and there wasn't a lot of specialties, and there just wasn't a lot of opportunities to seek feedback from either people that have been through the classes before you or from the professors teaching it. And online learning for me has made it more, it's flattened it. It feels like the hierarchy doesn't exist as much as it would in kind of that person to person, but that could just be the culture of, the schools that I had been to previous, but that was definitely something that having that peer-to-peer, the eye-to-eye conversations and being able to provide that candid feedback, I feel like it was solicited. I feel like we were actually given a voice and an opportunity to speak up on making the programs better, or it wasn't just a one and done one-way communication of feedback. That bi-direction really existed and it was heard and it was validated. And to see the changes put into place with students after the fact that we stayed connected to via student organization or ODK, whatever it may have been, was just rewarding to know that we might have suffered through it, but it got better for the next set of students that went through. And to your point, large volumes of students are going through. So I think it's important to be making those improvements as we go along.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I like, being able to give back, right? And to the ones that are coming up behind you, because nothing is perfect, right? I mean, and the fact that you're even giving these, your doctoral professors like, hey, this could be presented this way, or whatever, and being open to that. So hopefully more teachers and stuff are open to that type of work. But anyway, Kara, I really appreciate you joining me today. Is there anything final that you would like to just share with everybody based on our conversation, or anything we didn't get to touch on that you would like to?
I think the impacts of the pandemic we're going to be seeing for generations to come, for whatever it's worth. We are genetically coded to take with us whatever is passed down from our parents. And so it'll just be interesting to see what the next generations have as residual of this, from learning deficits to the stress to all of it. So we'll have to see.
We will just have to see. And like I said earlier, we can just ask, are we there yet?
Yeah.
So thank you, everybody, for joining us. I'm Dr. Brent Scholar, and have a great day.